Welcome everyone to Mozzies in a Minute. We are joined today by Rod Bellwood. Rod's a Senior Vector Control Officer in the Medical Entomology team at Queensland Health in Australia, and he has been 18 years in mosquito control now. Welcome, Rod.
Thank you.
What we want to talk to you about today is spraying. So why, what, and how do we spray against mosquitoes? And also, what would be the biggest challenges in the Pacific with this spraying? So just to start with, I guess the basic question is, why does spraying work? How does it work?
Yeah, okay. So with spraying, the idea of spraying inside a house where the mosquitoes rest is why we spray inside the house. Mm-hmm. Interior residual spraying is what I've been using for 18 years in Queensland to control dengue outbreaks. The reason it works is we actually target exactly where the mosquito rests. So we don't come in a house and spray the whole house. We're just targeting areas under tables, chairs, beds, where that mosquito will actually rest. So we're after the one mosquito that's actually fed on somebody that's got the virus in them and can pass it on to the rest of the people in that house. So we're actually coming through that house, killing mosquitoes that are there on the spot. And a lot of houses, they're very open, no fly screens. The Mozzies can just come in from breeding areas outside into the house. And the spray that we've put under all those targeted areas lasts for up to 3 months. So those Mozzies coming in are no longer a risk either, because they'll rest on those areas and die. So it's a very, very effective way to stop dengue transmission when you have outbreaks.
Okay, so you go in once and you spray, and then it will last for 3 months.
Yeah.
Protect people within the household.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So up to 3 months it'll last within the household. And there's always the added bonus that it gets rid of other insects like cockroaches and spiders and things like that.
Okay, so you mentioned that you have experience spraying in Queensland. Why do you spray there? Why has it been spraying done, and under what circumstances?
Yeah, so we've had multiple dengue outbreaks over the last 18 years in Queensland. And I've sprayed in yards and inside houses from the Torres Strait down to Mackay, which is where the mosquito lives that we're targeting, the Aedes aegypti. I've sprayed in those areas to stop dengue outbreaks. There was one time we're actually going house to house to house in a suburb, and we go through the yard, we tip out all the containers, we treat everything there, we spray inside the house. And there was a couple of houses that we couldn't get into. Obviously, people are working, or there's a big dog and nobody wants us in the house. And probably about a week later, we got this one house with 3 cases.
Dengue cases?
Dengue cases, yeah. So we've gone back to this house, and we looked on our map, and it was a house that they weren't home at the time to treat. And we've come through the house, and although we've done all the houses around this property, I've walked in the house, there's a massive vase in the corner with a load of dead flowers in it and larvae all breeding in there. So they were their own little breeding pot. Right. So that's another thing with doing the yard to yard and going house to house doing the spraying, is you really want to get as much coverage as you can in that neighbourhood, because it only takes a breeding site like that to keep cases moving forward.
So it means that the spraying is not done in isolation. You're coupling it with the other methods where you go through and just tip out containers or get rid of rubbish that's gathered.
Exactly.
And as well.
Yeah. So we're knocking out all the breeding sites in the yards, and we're spraying inside the house to knock down any live mosquitoes that are flying around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what impact have you seen of the spraying? You gave an anecdote about this one house where it was clear where the case was coming from because it had a lot of larvae. But overall, what impact are you seeing from the residual spraying and the integrated with the larval control?
Yeah. Well, one where I can really reflect back on is when we actually go to a place in the Torres Strait where it's a small island with a small community of, say, 300-400 people. And we'll actually come through and we'll spray and treat everything there. And you're going from where we're actually standing in our accommodation and there's Mozzies landing on us, and the locals saying, oh, the Mozzies are so bad, to being able to sit outside whenever you want,
Okay.
having no effect, and the locals saying, wow, this is amazing. You know, we haven't had this for months and months and months.
And cockroaches too.
And no cockroaches. yeah.
So I guess what advice would you give to programs in the Pacific that are looking at starting residual spraying and commencing spray programs? Because I think there's a number of countries that do it, but there's a number of countries that aren't doing it yet and are considering it as part of their dengue control. So what advice would you give to them?
Yeah, look, I'd certainly advise to go down that pathway. I mean, it is a needle in a haystack type of control. You're after that one female Mozzie that has the virus in it, and she's the one that's flying into the houses, living with us. So, yeah, look, I definitely recommend it. It's a proven technique that's worked for many, many, many years for us in Queensland. Yeah, and nice to combine it with what they're already doing. I know a lot of the Pacific Islands are doing larval control, but to add that to their larval control, it'll knock down a lot of cases for sure. Yeah.
And if it's a needle in a haystack in a area where there's not a lot of transmission, then you would think where there's a lot of transmission, there'll be a lot more mosquitoes that you can kill with effective residual spraying as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's a bit of a numbers game, isn't it? To try to kill as many as you possibly can to hold
quick as you can.
As quick as you can.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for your reflections. We've really enjoyed talking to you. So thanks, Rod, and thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you. Bye.